Hi, I'm Rod Smith from Awabakal, and today we're here to talk about diabetes. Usually I'd bring you a good news story on how we beat diabetes, and so can you. But today we're going to do a strong positive message on living with high complex diabetes. And I have with me two beautiful, amazing girls, Racheal and Alinah, mother and daughter, Detourbet. How are you girls?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Detourbet. It's an unusual name. Blackfellas will be thinking, where'd that name come from?
My husband is French Aboriginal from the Territory.
From the Territory, whereabouts?
Yes, Catherine
Catherine
Darwin
Catherine
Way.
Mob.
Yes.
For those who don't know you, remind community of your family tree.
So I am Robert Smith and Shirley Smith's granddaughter. I am your niece. I left Newcastle about 17, 18 years ago and have finally come back home.
As I said, we're here to talk about diabetes, and I've asked you two to come in because there are different types of diabetes.
Yes.
Type 1, type 2.
Type 2.
Can you just explain as best and easily as you can for those people who don't know much about diabetes?
So I say that our body is a little bit broken and our body doesn't produce insulin.
Yep.
For the rest of our lives until there's a cure, we will have to have insulin. Where a type 2, they can change their lifestyle, exercise more, and they can beat it, which is great.
So no matter how healthy you get, how fit you get, eat all the superfoods,
I will always need insulin.
As you said, there are people that take insulin by a needle or by a tablet, but you've got something different.
So we have an insulin pump.
Yeah.
And Alinah, do you want to show yours? So our insulin is put into a cartridge in the back. So we have one needle over 3 days instead of 15.
And what does that machine do?
That delivers our insulin, and it, from our device here, it reads our sugar level.
Okay. At what age was you diagnosed with diabetes?
So I was 34. I was diagnosed as type 2, and then I didn't want to go on tablets or anything, so I said lifestyle. I had lost 20 kilos in 3 months, and but I had symptoms with that, and then I had a pain in my chest that took me to the doctors, and they thought I was having a heart attack, but then they found out that I was actually type 1 diabetic in severe DKA, which is diabetes ketoacidosis, which means my blood turns acidic and eats my fat and eats my organs.
Oh wow.
And if I didn't get that pain in my chest, 2 weeks I would have been dead.
Wow. How old were you when you were diagnosed with diabetes?
3,
3. And how old are you now?
11.
11. So have you always had that diabetes computer machine on you?
No,
You haven't?
no,
How long have you had it on you?
I don't remember.
Don't remember?
6 years.
6 years.
No, 7, sorry. 7 years.
7 years.
Yep.
Do you find having that machine hooked up to you hard to work?
No,
Pretty easy?
yeah.
And is it and then that's hooked to an app, is it, on your phone?
Onto my phone.
Onto your phone?
She doesn't have a phone anymore
Yeah.
because the pump, because the CGM reads to the pump, that would alarm, then the phone would alarm, and it was just too stressful.
How do you find it hard living with diabetes?
It can be annoying sometimes.
Yeah. What's the most annoying thing that it does? What about when you go swimming? Does it affect you? Can you go swimming?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just need to disconnect my pump.
Oh, so you can disconnect it.
Yeah,
Okay, and then that allows you to go swimming.
yeah.
What's another annoying thing you find?
I have to bolus before I can eat any food.
That's measuring all your food, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everything you eat, you've got to measure to see what type of sugar levels are in it. Is that right?
To count the carbs in the food.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that. I've seen you actually do that.
Nearly everything has carbs in it, have some sort of carbs. With injections, you go by portions, or you can go by grams, which is 15 units. With a pump, if she has an apple that's 6 grams of carbs, then she can actually put 6 grams in. So we can get a more closer carb counting into it.
Has it drove you crazy at all any times?
Yes, I've had a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
She's had a couple of bad days, but we have a cry, have a scream if we need to, and we get back up, and we've got to do what we've got to do, because like I said in the beginning, I was misdiagnosed as type 2. So if somebody with type 2 didn't look after themselves and wasn't doing the right thing, it could actually take years and years for them to see complications, where, as you heard, 3-4 months it'll take a type 1 and we're dead.
Yeah. Have there been any scary times?
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Yeah.
Alinah is a deep sleeper, and so when you're low, I think the best way to explain it for all the adults out there, it's like as if you're wasted, like you're drunk.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get up and make this decision. And so trying to wake up a child who's a deep sleeper and in that condition, because she's low and she needs sugar to get her sugars levels back up, and not waking, it's taken me a couple of minutes sometimes.
Wow.
To get her up, yeah.
And is that one of the good things about this machine and having the app, that it sends you alerts?
Yes. This here device reads to the pump, which then reads to the app. But the great thing is now with the new software of our pump, it predicts within 30 minutes if we're going to go into a low, it actually shuts our insulin off. So it reduces the amount of lows that we have. And we're just waiting for the new software to come, which will, if we're above a certain level, it'll actually give us more insulin, which will work more like a normal pancreas will.
Was it hard to get one of those machines?
So this little machine is $9,000.
Oh wow.
And you get that through your health insurance. You have to have your health insurance for a year first, but the companies have loan pumps. So you just prove that yes, you're in a health fund, and then they'll loan you a pump until it matures.
Just before we wrap up, I just want to ask, if there's people out there now maybe just finding out that they have diabetes, or maybe just being told, look, your diabetes is pretty bad. With everything you've learned over the many years you've lived with this condition and maintained it and controlled it, what advice or support would you say to those people?
I would say have you cry and then get back up. Find a good doctor, a good specialist. If you go to a specialist or you go to a GP and you walk out crying, change. And with your dietitians, I struggled a lot in the beginning with dietitians, and in the end I was just honest and said, I will not give up these foods, I will not give up my morning coffee, work around it. Because sometimes they have a textbook, and especially with her when she was diagnosed, the stuff they wanted me, it was just not realistic. So find a care team that's going to care about you living and not just what they've learnt. And it's no disrespect to them. I respect and appreciate all their hard work, but you're the one that has to walk this every day, not them. Yeah.
Well, girls, thank you for coming in and educating us, especially you, Alinah. Well, I just want to say thank you for being a brave little girl and coming in, and I think you're an amazing... Now I'm getting no, I can't even talk. I know what you're saying, but no. I'm happy to have a little bit of emotion, but that's too much. All right, sorry, let's do that again. Girls, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
That's no problem. Thank you for making me cry.